Hey everybody, and welcome back to another DnDurken video. As always, I'm Durken, and I hope you're having a blessed week so far. For the past weeks, I've been a staunch defender of Anthem and all of its issues. That's still true, but today, I need to get something off my chest. Anthem has a loot problem. It has had one since launch, and while BioWare has pushed out an impressive number of fixes and improvements in the 3 short weeks since it released, with every patch or hotfix, I find myself always thinking the same thing. This is great, but I still wish drop rates were better. If even I, a diehard fanboy, am thinking this, then it's no wonder that the Anthem subreddit has devolved into nothing but buff loot posts, like this one, or this one, or, my personal favorite, this one. Anthem has a plethora of bugs and gameplay issues that I'm more than happy to wait months to have fixed. Enemies popping out of existence randomly, bugged missions, and bugged health bars all come to mind. Here's the reason I'm okay with those. They don't disrespect my time. The loot rates in Anthem are not a bug. They aren't something unintended. They are a conscious and deliberate decision by BioWare. A decision that they have stood by time and time again, even when their player base, which has notoriously complained about every minute bug in the game, begged them to keep a bug that buffed the loot, not once, but twice. And it wasn't just players they ignored. When a Diablo 3 developer that went through this exact same issue wrote them a letter about the merits of loot generosity, they blew him off too.
Please take advice from Travis Day. He made a great post. That's cool.
This isn't just bullheaded, it's disrespectful. Disrespectful of the time put in by every person that cares about their game. Anthem may be a new loot game, but loot games aren't new. BioWare isn't sailing through uncharted waters here. There are dozens of pioneers that came before them. One of them even wrote them a letter explaining exactly how to solve their problem with sound reasoning as to why it works. Did I mention that already?
He made a great post. That's cool.
Loot drop rates are not some shot in the dark where developers push a little slider between more loot and less loot haphazardly and then say, sure, that looks good I guess. No, loot is carefully tuned to keep us engaged and keep us playing. Anthem has a 10-year roadmap, so they don't want us all gearing up in 3 weeks then abandoning the game, which leads to the drop rates that we have now. Except BioWare doesn't understand their own game. The developers seem to be under the impression that the goal of the game is to max out your javelin level and then be done, which, to be fair, is what plenty of people will do. I've already seen it a ton of times. We've all seen it. I'm at full Masterworks now, what do I do? The answer to that question is where you lose a lot of people, because the answer is get all that same loot again, but with better stats. Plenty of people don't want to do that, and BioWare knows it. So they tune it so it takes 60 hours to get a fully Masterwork javelin. Which is fine. The first time. The initial gearing up process should take time, because it gives more casual players more life out of the game before reaching their goal of max level. Here's where things go south though in BioWare's eyes. Once those players get a full Masterwork set, they're gone. At least for a while. Which is also fine. This is what BioWare doesn't seem to get. These players that bail after they get a full Masterwork set are not your target audience. I cannot stress this enough. Whether it takes 50 or 150 hours, those players will leave once they have something in each slot. Frankly, most would leave well before getting full Masterwork if it took 150 hours, because the casual player does not like to grind that intensely. The players that will stay are the ones that want those perfect rolls, because they love to grind. Those players are the lifeblood of your game, BioWare, and they are being punished by your desperate attempt to keep those casual players as long as possible. Because you know who's not going to do the legendary grind as it stands now? Anyone. That's who. It's unappealing to casual players because, well, I think it's better to explain it by breaking down with some math. I currently have 82 hours in the game. About 25 of that was going through the main story and leveling. So if we take that out, I have been in the endgame grind for 57 hours. I have 3 legendaries. Let's break that down a bit further. If I take my total hours played at 30 and divide that by the number of legendary drops I have gotten, you get an average of 1 drop every 19 hours. Considering that there are 10 slots on each javelin that can be equipped with a legendary, since support slots do not have Masterwork or Legendary versions yet, you're looking at 190 hours minimum to get one fully kitted Legendary Javelin. That's assuming 0 slot overlap on those drops and 0 duplicates, which, frankly, is highly unlikely. Remember the people who would never grind 150 hours for a full Masterwork set? Those people you're trying to keep with these ridiculous drop rates? They're gone. No way are they going to be grinding over 200 hours to max out their Javelin level. Remember the people who want to farm over and over again for the perfect inscription rolls for their builds? The people you're trying to keep by making sure they don't gear up too fast? They're gone too. No way are they grinding over 1,000 hours minimum to make their first build. Even we have our limits. This strategy to create longevity just spits on us as players. Not to mention, it does the opposite of your intent. These loot rates are driving us away in droves when we'd still be playing otherwise. Time is a person's most precious commodity, and we're giving our time to you. Treat that gift with the respect it deserves. Stop disrespecting your player base and just buff loot drops already. You're not Diablo. You don't have the luxury of waiting 2 years for a loot overhaul. You don't have the luxury of waiting 2 months. Your window for winning us back is quickly closing. I can't believe I'm saying this, but bring back the bugs. Now, I love this game. I want to keep playing. So to that end, I promise everyone watching this video that until drop rates are improved, I will upvote every Reddit thread asking for a loot buff, and I will tweet the devs every day asking for the loot drops to be improved. Sound off in the comments below if you want a loot buff as well, and as always, if you liked this video, and if you support this endeavor, be sure to press that like button, and if you're interested in seeing more, be sure to press that subscribe button for more Anthem content every week. God bless.